Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Daily Inspiration with Geely. It is mighty warm in here. It rained a lot this evening and I never thought that it would have been so warm. And also I am looking at the Olympics on the television and I'm so proud of my Jamaican compatriots. But let me tell you, I want to talk to you about anger, because I noticed that people are so angry these days in our society. I listened to the news last week and a child was beaten to death by his stepfather because he was not feeling well and he wasn't eating. Can you imagine? And I actually saw a video of a man beating a man with a piece of wood, and as if that was not enough, he ran over the man. Good heavens. Where are we in terms of how we think about people and their lives? And this is anger. I am going to speak for myself because I try not to get angry. I realize that I could get hurt if I get angry. So I try to control myself and I sort of like excuse myself from the situation if it is threatening to explode, or I say my piece in a calm manner, take a deep breath and say this is how I feel. And I find that when I do that, it does work for me. What I've also tried to do is deal with the issue at hand and not attack somebody, because that really does cause sparks to fly if you do not deal with the issue but attack somebody, because nobody wants to be belittled or to be put down or anything like that. And sometimes something has happened and people don't really think about what they're saying and they just let off at you. Let me tell you what happened to me one time. I was very, very pregnant and I was on the bus going to work, and it was the day when I was going to shop for my baby, because it was, I don't remember how far away, maybe 2 months, 3 months, I don't remember, maybe 2 months away or so. And so I decided to go to shop. Somebody was going to take me that day, so I had quite a bit of money on me because I was going to do big shopping. I was going to do shopping one time. So I was in the bus minding my own business, and I noticed that a young man beckoned to me to offer me a seat, but it was further down in the bus and I was almost at my destination. So I politely thanked him and said it's okay. Well, a few seconds after that, I happened to turn my head and noticed that a man's hand was in my bag, and he was bringing up his fingers with my purse clasped between them. And listen to me, immediately I lost it, because when I thought about all the money I had in the bag and that this man was going to now take my money, I was not happy. So I stepped back and I fisted him really hard in his cheek. And let me tell you something, all hell broke loose because he was so mad. And he flashed out a ratchet knife and he said, "Y'all, you want to cut out your bad word belly?" And I challenged him because I was so angry that I knew no fear. So I rushed up to him. I had to tiptoe because he was tall and strapping. And I told him, I said, "Cut out the belly." I said, "Cut out which one of they got that?" Now this man could have stabbed me. He could have actually cut out the gut, because the doctors did that at a later time. But you know, that is the anger that I felt. It was unbridled and I wasn't even thinking. I just knew that I was mad because he was going to now relieve me of my money that I had to purchase stuff for my child, for my unborn child. Anyways, people started bawling for murder and the driver stopped, and some people jumping out of the bus because they thought that he was going to harm me. So he he was still brandishing the knife, and he stepped out of the bus, but he turned his back to come out, because I think he thought that maybe if he had gone out of the bus the regular way, somebody might have hit him in his head or in his back or something, and he didn't want that. So he backed out of the bus. After he backed out of the bus, that was the time I realized the danger I was in, and my knees just buckled, and I sat in a chair. I fell in a seat, shaking like a leaf. There was no a seat for me to sit in because people had just vacated the seats, rushing about, bawling out. And I sat there shaking. And some people were saying how I was brave and stuff like that. And I was mad at everybody in the bus because I was thinking that if he were going to really do me any harm, there was nobody to assist me. So I just turned my head and just gave them the look and just looked back. And then I got off shortly after that. And I went to work and I told them about it, and I was breathing heavy and I was just upset, and they had to just calm me down. That was not a good situation to be in, because I could have been badly hurt. I could have been killed. And that was because of how I reacted with my anger. I also had another experience on the bus again. I don't remember why it is that I had to go pick up my son that evening. His father wasn't able to pick him up, so I had to go pick him up. And so I took the bus. And when I was going up into the bus, there was a man at the door, and he was making a ceremony out of my coming into the bus. And I'm thinking, why is he behaving like that? Because the bus was practically empty. There might have been 2 or 3 people at most that were standing in the bus. The bus was relatively empty. All the seats taken. And I got up into the bus. I put the little boy up in the bus and I went in behind him. And when I stood up, I happened to notice that my bag was open. So I said to him, you know, did you open mommy's bag? And he said, no, mommy. I said, are you sure? And he said, no, mommy, because I knew that I always have my money ready. So I had my money in my hand to pay my fare. And I looked back, and our eyes made for it, and he, you know, bowed his head. So I said, he who steals my purse steals trash. Don't know when to put a dirty hand in a people's bag for like, when one of them have anything. And listen to me. I forgot everything about it. And when we got to our destination, where the bus, most people were coming off of the bus at that point, I stood there with the boy, waiting to get a seat. Huh. I just feel when somebody punched me into my jaw, I thought I broke my neck, because the strength of the fist, it came so hard. And then I saw him flying out of the bus, and I made to go after him. And then I realized that I had my son. I couldn't run and leave him. And I was really, really upset. But I had to calm myself down, because I realized that he had already gone. I couldn't catch him. And that was that. I'm saying all of that to say that anger is a troubling thing, and it bothers all of us in society from time to time, because people do us evil things and we get upset. And sometimes somebody gets you upset, and it doesn't even have to be anything really bad, you know, but it's like we're all living on edge, and so everything sets us off. So I just want to say to us, you know, we can handle the anger. Let's say you work in a situation where people tend to annoy you. First of all, you need to learn what are your triggers. Learn what makes you angry. And when you have learned what makes you angry, you can prepare for that situation, so that when it is coming, or when it has come, you have a different way of dealing with it. You don't react the same way all the time. You have to tell yourself, that's too much energy you're wasting. Too many things happening. You know, you're developing headaches, you're breathing heavily, you're nervous, you get anxious, all of these things. You really don't need to go through all of that. So just discover what your triggers are and sort of prepare yourself so that when something comes up, you know that you don't have to react the same way that you reacted in times past. Sometimes if you have something happening between you and somebody else, you can politely excuse yourself from the situation. You can actually say to the person, I'm very angry right now. I can't discuss this. Let's talk about it at a later time. And you walk away from it, but you ensure that you get it resolved at a later time, even if you have to take somebody else with you, because it doesn't help for you to be steaming and stewing over this thing. It needs to be resolved so that you can move on with your life. Because, like some very famous person said, anger is like taking poison and expecting the other person to be killed. That's not so good. So if you are holding something in here, that is what is going to happen. You're the one who's going to be affected, not the person with whom you're angry. So, you have to do something about it. Also, learn to assert yourself by, just saying your piece. Say it firmly and clearly, and in a very modulated voice. You don't have to go 10 decibels. Just make your speech known. Let them know what is you have to say. Make your case. Say it, leave it alone. Do not attack anybody. Don't belittle anybody. Don't say anything nasty. Don't project yourself in a way that will cause you to be embarrassed afterwards. When you think about how you behaved, you become embarrassed, and other people look at you in a different light and say that you are this kind of person. No, you don't always have to be aggressive. And sometimes if you're in a situation that is going to call for aggression, I would advise you to walk away from it, because in this day and age, it takes nothing for somebody to hurt you. I was saying to somebody the other day that sometimes I think if somebody steps on your toe, you perhaps should quickly say you're sorry, because people are so angry, you don't know what they'll do. And so I am just saying to you that there are little things that you can do to get rid of the anger. When you feel the anger coming, take a deep breath, Yes. Inhale and exhale. And you can go for a walk if it's in a situation where you're going to be around the persons who are making you angry. You can go for a walk, and then don't dwell on it. Go for a walk, come back, and when you're nice and calm, you can discuss it with the person, whomever it is that is causing you the anger. Then also you need to be able to identify provoking situations, because there are situations that will happen from time to time that cause you to be provoked, and if you know that you're going to be provoked, then perhaps you should get yourself away from that. There are ways to manage your anger, and talking about managing anger, I can't do that in just one video because I don't want it to be too long, right? But I'm just saying, do some of these things and you can manage your anger, because you don't want to be a part of the angry mob. Everybody is so mad with everybody else. You can plan what it is that you want to do, and you have to be intentional about managing your anger. Anger is not just something that goes away. You have to be intentional about it. So you decide how you're going to behave when something else happens. Tell yourself that you will take a deep breath. You will hear out the person. And if the person says something that upsets you, you perhaps will walk away and you think about it and you decide what it is that you want to say. And if when you go to say it, they won't hear you and they're getting upset and making a lot of noise and whatever, leave it alone. You perhaps would have to get a mediator, a third person, to help you to resolve the problem. Or you could send them an email, or, you know, something like that, but you want to get rid of it. So think about that, ruminate on it for a little bit, and when I talk about anger again, let me know whether any of what I said worked for you. Remember to subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and thank you for watching. Really take charge of your anger. Have a good one.